Hi! Food dyes have been in the news constantly, but most of the coverage either dismisses the concern entirely or makes it sound like you need to inspect every label in your house. But neither is useful, right? So today, let's do this properly. What food dyes actually are, which ones have real research behind them, and what the research says that they do, and how to spot them on a label in 30 seconds. So what are they actually? Most food dyes used today are synthetic, meaning they are made in a lab from petroleum-derived chemicals, not from anything that came out of the ground or of a plant. They're added to food for one reason: appearance only. They don't add nutrition, they don't improve safety, and they don't extend shelf life. They exist entirely to make food look more vivid, more appealing, and more consistent on a shelf. Three of those, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, account for roughly 90% of all synthetic food dye used in the US. They're in over 36,000 products by what the USDA counts. So when we're talking about real food exposure for kids, we are mostly talking about those three. So which are the ones that have real research behind them? Let me walk through the specific dyes and what we actually know. Red 40, the most used dye in the US food supply. It shows up in candy, in cereal, drinks, flavored juice, fruit snacks, and even some medications. The research on Red 40 links it to allergy-like reactions in some children, rashes, hives, and some behavioral effects including increased hyperactivity and restlessness in sensitive kids. It's one of the dyes in the EU has required a warning label since 2010, specifically because of behavioral effects in children. Another is yellow 5. This is one that has most clearly documented allergic response of any synthetic dye. It's associated with hives, asthma-like symptoms, and runny nose in sensitive individuals, and it cross-reacts with aspirin in some people. It also appears in the same behavioral research as Red 40. You'll find it in chips, soft drinks, candy, baked goods, and cereal. Another is yellow 6, sunset yellow. It's found in many of the same products as yellow 5, so candy, sauces, Fanta, Fruit Loops, and stuff like that. Similar behavioral and allergic reactions research applies. Red 3. This one is in a bit different category. The FDA actually banned Red 3 from cosmetics back in 1990s because of cancer risk, and only just banned it from food in January 2025, giving manufacturers until 2027 to remove it. It's associated with thyroid problems in animal studies. It's currently still in some foods and medicines. Through major manufacturers are removing it ahead of the deadline, thank God. Another is blue 1. It's found in multicolored candies, frostings, some yogurts, and energy drinks. A review linked to it increased ADHD symptoms in children. Less research overall than the reds and yellows, but it's on the same phase-out plan. Blue 2 and green 3. Less commonly used, less research available. They're also included in the current US phase-out plan, but they're not the ones to prioritize checking for. So which are the dyes that are generally fine? Natural food dyes come from plant, mineral, or animal sources, and they have meaningfully different risk profile than synthetic ones, obviously. The most common ones you will see on the labels like beet juice, beet powder, so red and pink shades from actual beets. No meaningful safety concerns there. Next is turmeric, yellow and golden tones, also a common spice, fine. Another is beta-carotene. It's yellow and orange, the same compound that you find naturally in carrots, also fine. Another is spirulina extract, blue and green from algae. It's used in ice cream and some cereals. It's low risk. Carmine, Red, made from insects, effective and low risk for most people, though it does cause allergic reactions in a small number of individuals, occasionally severe. Worth knowing if your child has known allergies. One important note: FDA allows products using plant-based colors to say no artificial colors. That's good news, but it doesn't mean the product has no added colorants at all. Calamari color and a few others can still be present under that claim. So if you want to know exactly what's in there, check the ingredient list, not just the front box. So, what the research says they do to kids, honestly. The most important study is from 2007. Researchers gave children aged 3, 8, and 9 either a drink containing a mix of 6 synthetic dyes plus the preservative sodium benzoate or placebo. The children who got the dye mix showed measurable increases in hyperactive behavior. Crucially, this showed up across the general population of children, not just those with existing ADHD diagnosis. The study is why the European Union has required a specific warning label on foods containing these dyes since 2010. The label reads, "May have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children." That label is required in products in Europe. In the US, it's not. So, we know a subset of children, not all children, appear sensitive to these dyes, particularly these main three azo dyes, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6. We know that children with ADHD may be more affected than children without it. We know the behavioral effect is real enough that major health agencies in Europe acted on it in 15 years ago. So what we don't have is certainty about long-term effects, exact dose thresholds, and which children are affected. That's why the language is may affect rather than definitely causes, which is honest science, not a cover-up. The US is now moving in the same direction. The FDA has formally banned red 3 and is working with industry to phase out red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1 and 2, and green 3 by the end of 2026. Although this is currently a voluntary industry commitment, not a legally enforced ban, so the timeline varies by product and brand. So the food that you might want to look closer at is candy, brightly colored cereal, fruit snacks, and sodas. Those you'd expect. The ones that catch parents off guard are flavored yogurt, especially strawberry and blueberry varieties, sports drinks, salad dressings, pickles, some bread products, and even medicine. Particularly medicine for children's liquid medicines and vitamins where dyes are extremely common. Fruit flavored is a strong signal. If it's fruit flavored but it doesn't contain actual fruit, there's a high chance synthetic dye is doing the color work. So I promise to tell you how to spot them on a label in 30 seconds. Step 1. Ignore the front package entirely. Claims like no artificial flavors say nothing about the dyes. Step 2. Scan the ingredient list for words red, yellow, blue, or green, followed by numbers 40, 5, 6, 1, and so on. This must be listed by name in the US. Step 3. Watch for artificial color or artificial coloring as an umbrella term. This means synthetic dyes are present even if they are not individually named. So, once you know those patterns, the scan takes less than half a minute. So now you know you don't need to eliminate everything colored. You need to know what the color is coming from. For cereal, plain oats or cereal where the color doesn't come from a numbered dye. Many brands have reformulated already, and no artificial colors claims are becoming more reliable as the phase out progresses. Just verify it with the label check. For drinks, water, plain milk, or drinks colored with fruit juice. Actual juice listed in the ingredients, not fruit flavored. For candy and snacks, this one's the most important. Naturally colored candy is available and growing, but it's not the default yet. If it's a special occasion treat, that's fine. If it's a daily snack, that's worth looking at. And what to do with birthday cakes that you bake at home? Beet juice for pink and red, turmeric for yellow, spirulina powder for blue or green. These work. They take slightly more food coloring than synthetic versions, but they are real and accessible swaps. And the bottom line, not all food dyes are the same. The ones with the most real concern behind them, so red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6 and red 3, have research connecting them to behavioral changes in sensitive children, and in red 3's case, cancer risks serious enough that FDA finally banned it after 35 years. The US is now moving in the same direction as Europe, just more slowly. Natural dyes, beet, turmeric, spirulina, have a different and generally more reassuring safety profile, although natural isn't automatically a blank check either. So, don't panic over one pack of candy at birthday party, but if a child's diet includes multiple dye-heavy products every day, those exposures stack up. And now you have what you need to make an informed call about which products are worth swapping and which aren't. Hit subscribe for more breakdowns like this, specific, sourced, and actually useful. And my free family health guide is linked below. Talk to you soon and thanks for watching.